Hey, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 10 of Varied Gary Podcast. It's been a couple months since I put one of these podcasts out, but I'm just getting back into the swing of things right now. My first guest back is Josh Stone, aka Riddick Stone. He's a wrestler for UCW, and it's a pretty good show. Me and Matt actually took a road trip a couple weekends to go to see the show, and it was pretty exciting. Everybody loves it. It was pretty good. So actually, Josh and I have been hanging out since we went to the match and helping me out at the gym quite a bit. So after a workout one day, I just asked him to come over and do a podcast because it was supposed to be out a few days ago. So here's the podcast, and sorry for the wait. It's been long, but anyway, enjoy. My man with me, Josh Stone. Josh, a.k.a. Riddick Stone.
No, Riddick, not Reddick. R-I-D-D.
Riddick.
Yeah,
Shit.
make it right.
Where did the name come from?
When I first got into wrestling, of course, like I was, what do we call like a mark? Like I was always excited about it. I always wanted the big, powerful sounding name. So for whatever reason, I wanted like Apocalypse or something stupid, like just a one word name.
Okay.
And one of the guys actually said, "No, we're gonna take your name from Vin Diesel's character, Riddick.
I was going to
and
say
just
Pitch Black.
add your real last name to it." And I was like, "Oh, that's stupid. And then when I first made an appearance and they said my name, I overheard a kid talking to his dad. Said, that guy with the R name, he's really cool." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll stay with that then."
Riddick.
So,
Riddick. Yeah, cool. I was kind of wondering about that before. You are one of the bigger guys in the league, though, right? What
yeah,
is it? League, or like would it be like a wrestling association? Or
there's different ones. Like they're called promotions. Like I work for Red Rock Wrestling over in PEI, and then I work for one in Halifax called UCW, and they're actually growing and expanding. They're gonna do quite a few shows this year all over our side of the Maritimes anyway, like up in Moncton and Halifax, of course, is their base. And then we have one here that we basically run out of the Burt mainly. It's called New Breed. So yeah, I'm one of the bigger ones. With my boots and stuff on, I'm about 6'4", and I'm a legit 275 pounds, and we bill me at 280.
Jeez.
So,
and that's weird too, because he's big going to the gym and stuff. He's been helping me up the last like week and a half or so, and I'm just like I'm lifting more than he is, but he's bigger than me. It's so weird.
yeah, oh, yeah. Well, first thing I said to you is everybody's stronger than what they think they are.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right.
apparently, you're obscenely strong.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Stick with that. No, I been having a really good time, and you're a really athletic dude. We went out. Matt and I went out. Was it last weekend?
The week
No, the
weekends
weekend
ago?
before
Yeah.
that. And that was in Spryfield. We drove
Yeah.
to Spryfield to watch you guys friggin' do your thing there. And I was like, when we walked in, I was really impressed with the energy of that place.
Yeah.
Everybody's so friggin' into it and like on their toes. It's crazy as hell. Like they're saying, this match is scheduled for one draw, and then everybody's like, or one fall.
One fall.
Yeah,
and
one
then
fall.
everybody's like, one fall.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on here?
So
Yeah.
is one fall just like one pin?
Yeah.
Or one pin, you're out, yeah?
One fall is a pin, or well, basically a loss, right? Like
Okay.
right.
So is there matches where there's more than one fall?
Yeah, sometimes they do like what's called Ironman matches where they'll give you a certain amount of time, and whoever gets the most pinfalls
Oh, okay.
in that set time
Oh, really?
wins, right? Or there's like different stipulations, like where you'll do one certain type of match and get a pinfall, and then you'll move on to the next type of match and get a pinfall. Usually it's called the 3 stages of death or whatever, right?
3 stages of death.
Yeah, it's not really that. It's not
Yeah.
really that graphic. Like like I don't know.
You guys friggin' work hard though. I was super shocked. Like the first guy that I heard hit the friggin' canvas.
It's loud.
Oh my god, is it ever
Yeah.
loud?
Yeah, I never
almost like,
noticed those mats
Jesus.
were that loud before.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think there's springs under those rings, and there's not. There's straight steel with plywood on top of that, and then a thin layer of padding on top of that. Some people use carpet, and believe it or not, carpet's actually not that bad. But when you're a bigger, heavier guy, it's actually easier on you to fall down.
Okay, yeah, I see
Because
that.
you have enough weight to move the ring down and make it bounce a little bit, whereas the little guys, it's just like that thud.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
But the little guys, they tend to last longer because like it's just the same as anything else. Like heavy duty equipment breaks easier and it's harder to
Yeah.
fix.
Yeah.
A big body requires more energy and it hurts more after a while.
a lot
Yeah.
more gas in
So,
a big
yeah.
rig. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I was super impressed. Like, and the friggin' chops. Like, I was actually
They
gonna,
suck.
I was gonna be like, all right, I wanna like get something like a clip of Josh giving me one right across the chest without a shirt on, and then I thought about it and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that shit.
Sissy.
I know.
Yeah, you kind of set yourself up for that, because you brought that up yourself.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Anyway,
Good for you.
Moving on. No, when we were standing there, and I was like, oh, me and Matt were actually, during one of the matches, I think it was, who's the girl that fights?
Madison.
Madison?
Yeah.
I think it was her match against that dude.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't remember. Who did she fight? I can't remember.
I'm so bad with names.
Yeah. I have no idea.
I can't remember.
Well, anyway, me and Matt were kind of like just like shooting the shit for a minute, like during the match, and we both stopped because we heard this like a very distinct noise of somebody getting kicked or something in the chest. Oh my god, man! It's like, no, I remember that. That's why I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get him to give me a chop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Madison's very aware of wrestling's not. Everybody thinks it's fake. It's scripted.
Yeah.
But you heard the chops and
Oh,
the kicks
yeah.
and stuff. You
100%.
can't fake that, and you can't fake getting thrown down and slammed on the mat. Like we were taught to protect each other. Yes. But a chair
It still
shot is a
hurts.
chair shot.
Yeah.
Everybody in here has been slapped in the face.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Those are legit.
Yeah. That's
I've
basically
had my
what
ears ring before because we did a spot where, I'm the big tough guy kind of thing, and I'm squaring off with the bad guy, and he shoves me, and I shove him back, and he'll haul off and smack me, and then everybody be like, oh, and I'll rip my straps down and act like a man. Meanwhile, I'm like, because my ears are ringing, right? But I'm trying not to show everybody that, I'm like, you motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming to get you now, and then I'll charge across the ring and blow them in the corner and start lighting them up, but it's rough.
Oh, yeah.
So
Man, so does that? How many injuries have you had, or any major ones?
I've separated both shoulders. I've separated. There's an elastic membrane on your ribs. I've separated 4 ribs from that elastic membrane. One time I did my finishing move, and he actually didn't know how to take it, and I wasn't. Ever since then, I've always been like, you guys know what my finishing move is, and so on and so forth. And he wasn't aware of how to take it, so he just kind of pivoted on my shoulder and came right down. And when I came down, I crunched me in like this, and it just popped all these ribs out.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so that took quite a while to heal, but it didn't really bother me too long for afterward. The only time it really bothered me is if I was really, really gassed and I was breathing heavy, and then the in and out of my ribs would bother me. I broke these fingers. Fractured my right shin. Somebody drop kicked me in it, and it just exploded. I wrestled 2 matches after that, not even knowing, in the same night, and didn't even realize. Like it just felt like, it's sore. Somebody kicked me, right? Of course it's gonna be sore. I took my boot off, and it just went boom, exploded.
Jesus.
Like my foot was pitch black. 2 days later, my foot went as black as your sweater. Yeah.
So you guys get pretty amped up when you're.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you don't feel anything when you're in there unless it's like serious, and then,
Jesus Christ. That would be a lot of work. How many matches so when you guys put on a big, like a tournament or event, what's the show? Well, like what's the longest? Have you ever did like a weekend thing where you had like different guys come in?
Oh yeah.
And do 2 days or something like that?
Yeah, we've done weeks straight, 2 weeks straight.
Really?
Some people go, and there's a couple of guys that I'm very close with that are over in Europe off and on, and they'll go for 6 weeks straight.
Oh, geez.
2 shows a day, sometimes 3 shows a day, sometimes, right?
Lord.
That's good.
But that's how they make money.
Yeah.
Right? So they, everybody that gets into wrestling, if I could financially do it, I would do it too, but I couldn't justify taking that risk right now and not knowing that I'm going to have enough money to pay the bills at the end of the day, or else that's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
Right. So, kudos to the guys that take that risk. And if I was smarter, I would have done it when I was younger and got much more established by now and could be making that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
But what kept me back then was just kind of fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Right? And now I'm so comfortable in my shoes and stuff like that I kind of think, I'm 35 now. It's not too late, but it is too late.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because there's a lot of guys out there that are ripping it up that are probably like 25 years old, less.
There are,
younger
but there's
than
also
that.
guys out there that are 50 years old in their prime. Brody Steele is one of them.
Oh,
He's
wow.
6'6". He's 50 years old, in some of the greatest shapes he's ever been in. He just posted on Facebook the other day. When he started wrestling, he was 288 pounds with a 36-inch waist. He's 289 pounds right now with a 36-inch waist at 50 years old. So that goes to show you that age is just a number sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's
So,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's been my mentor. Him and Cowboy Mike Hughes have been my two main mentors for 8 years.
So Brody's from, where's he from?
He's from Cole Harbour, but he lives up in Moncton area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And who's the other guy you mentioned?
Cowboy Mike Hughes,
Where's he from?
PEI.
Oh, okay. Right on. Right on. Jesus. So, how many people do you figure are wrestling in the UCW?
Oh, 20, give or take. They cycles them through. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that show that we went to see.
That's not everybody.
That's like maybe quarter of a half the people, maybe.
Maybe about half of them, yeah.
About half
Right.
of
It just
them.
depends. Like some people, some of that crew came down from Quebec. Now the April show, I was originally on, but I talked with the promoter and he's allowing me to go to Quebec with Brody Steele, April 29th, and he'll be flying in for UCW. We'll have people like Abyss and Hurricane Helms and people that have been WWE and TNA.
Oh,
They'll be there. So that's their yearly big show. I'm kind of sad. I am sad. I'm going to miss it. But there's a bigger opportunity in Quebec that
Yeah.
Brody wanted me to be involved in.
Oh,
so
okay.
I jumped on it. So
those guys that come down that are from like TNA and WWE, they like
the guys that were from WWE are no longer part of WWE
Yeah, so
because
they're like a free
they're
agent?
exclusively contracted to WWE when they're in there.
yeah, right.
But TNA allows them to go elsewhere too.
Oh, really?
So yeah, because essentially you're an independent contractor, but WWE their work is so extensive. They run 290 days a year, sometimes 300 more, and they're just gone all the time with them. So they really have no time to do anything else anyway.
Do they
So,
do any scouting or anything like that
Yeah.
when they're out?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I've had a few people when I was in really good shape. I've had a few people that look right at me and goes, "Vince McMahon, see you yet? He'd love you."
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
so-
Jesus Christ. Have
You
you
know.
ever you been to WWE matches before, or
Long time ago. Like
so
the,
when they're
the last
WWF?
actual WWE match I went to, the Hart Foundation took on the Bushwhackers.
No way. Really?
Yeah, it was like in the early 90s. It was like 91 or something like
Oh,
that.
I've probably
yeah.
seen that friggin' match.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Halifax Forum.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Or
I've
the
been.
Metro Center. I don't know if it was open back then or if it was in the Forum. I can't remember, but I was young.
That's crazy. I remember I think it was my father took us kids down to, I think it was the Forum maybe, and this is when like Big John Stubb was out.
Yeah.
And like all them old guys.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I don't think we went to see them wrestle, but we went to the meet and greet or something like that. And I think, now I could be totally like just making this up in my mind. I don't know, but I shook like Big John Studd's hand.
Well, you'd remember he was 6'10", 6'11".
He's a gigantic dude,
Yeah.
but as a kid, everything's huge,
Yeah,
right?
everything's
So,
huge.
but yeah, I was a huge wrestling fan, man.
Yeah.
Big time. It's still hard for me to say WWE because that's not what I grew up on.
I still call it the WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's just like worldwide. What is this?
World Wildlife Foundation.
World.
Yeah. English, Gary.
Yeah.
I don't do English on this show.
No.
You'll grow to see that for
Okay.
sure. Especially when I'm doing like intros and stuff, I just stumble over my words.
That's
and
fine.
kinda cough
Makes it
or something.
interesting. It's original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this for?
Since 2006.
Really?
Yeah.
2012
So
years.
12 years?
Friggin'.
Yeah. Well, it'll
Abused.
be. Actually, I think it'll be 11 years in June. Yeah. So.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're in overall good shape after that amount of time
Well,
of wrestling.
I don't wrestle enough anymore to really say that all my aches and pains are strictly from that. A lot
No.
of it too is from heavy lifting at the gym and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but most of my matches are revolved around feats of strength too. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, I seen you. That Titus guy, he's
Yeah.
not a small guy.
no, he's about 240.
Jesus, is he
Yeah,
that
he's
big?
6'4", 240.
Because I seen you slammed him once, and I seen your hand slip, and then you grabbed again, and
Yeah.
then you really picked him up, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's a lot of freaking dead weight to be lifted
Yeah.
up. Screw Titus, he beat you last match. I don't like that.
Don't
guy.
tell people that. Yeah, Titus is legit one of the best in the Maritimes. Like he's another one that could have went very far if he really wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, if he really, really wanted to, he could have went. You know, even if he didn't go WWE, he could have made a very good living wrestling all over the world.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Man, there's a few of you guys though for sure. You just look like you're like, oh man, you got the look for.
Yeah, that Marco Estrada was his name. He was pretty eccentric, or
oh yeah, he's a fantastic.
Which guy was
performer.
that?
He's the guy at the very end.
Yeah,
He's
the last guy.
he's really jacked with the shaved head.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, and he was giving the camera guy a hard time the entire match. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's got his character down to a T, which I don't think he really has a character. He's just a little badass, you know. And the guy is just a pure athlete. That guy, like, you seen how jacked he is, and he's flipping around and jumping over the barricades.
That last one where he jumped off. No, it wasn't the last, but he jumped off the top rope and he got some major air.
Yeah.
Holy jeez.
There's another one. They're built almost identical. Is called Frankie the Mobster, and he plays a very demonic character. He's got tattoos down his arms. It almost looks like just veins everywhere, or roots or something. And he whites his eyes out, and he comes out with this big horned helmet on and a big like a noose, but it's like 20 feet long and stuff like that. And he drags it behind him. And he's just, you get a chance, YouTube Frankie the Mobster, like, and he did a match. I just watched a match last night of him where he was fighting Harry Smith, which is British Bulldog's son.
Oh wow, no way.
And I they kind of did a quick switch, a role reversal where Frankie came out acting like a heel, but he ended up being the good guy throughout the match, and Harry Smith kind of dominated. But Frankie's such an intimidating looking guy that I think he should have at least, like, they should have just been two bulls. Yeah, you know, like nobody gives for a little bit until one of them makes a mistake a little bit. But Frankie's another guy that likes to give whoever he's working a lot of stuff and make them look really, really good.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, that only adds to the show.
And he's that guy looks like he's carved out of stone as well. So,
man, so who's on top champion belts right now?
Marcus Burke, I would have to say. Yeah. He's another one. Like he made his name really big with social media. He's one of my really close friends too. You know, he's one of the ones that has a lot to do with UCW and the success that they're having right now.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, and he travels all over the world as well. That's his main job is wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah. He's the vegan. The guy that came out vegan. He had the long hair and the big beard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's him.
So when the guys, is there a lot of interchanging between like New Breed and like Red Rock?
A lot of the guys work the same. There's a lot of the same roster. Like the core roster is always the same, and then we just bring people in and out.
Okay.
So
if somebody were to get involved with this, how would they do it?
You'd have to. Well, first you got to get trained, right? So like there's an extensive training, and then they do now they're bringing back what's called the Young Boys, where the trainees go out and they act like security or something around the ring, and they get involved. Like, you know, like if there's a scene where the guy vaults over the top and he takes out a lot of the audience.
Yeah, right.
Those are all the Young Boys, and then they set up the ring and tear down the ring and paying their dues, kind of. Which I hate to say it, I kind of got to skip past that just because of my size and my strength and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I instantly got pushed right into the
get in the show.
Main,
get in there.
So, but I mean, that's not to say that I didn't do my time either. Like I lost a lot of matches. I had to, you know, I got put in some shitty situations and I fought my way out of them and stuff like that too. But nothing to the extent of a lot of people get, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah, I seen I was watching a thing last night. It was Tough Enough.
Yeah.
And they have like different wrestlers in to put people through their paces, I guess.
Yep.
I didn't watch very much of it, but they had Triple H in there.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, telling people to give him a bump, and they do their thing, and he's like showing them how it's really done. He would like do let go over and stuff like that, man. He's a friggin' intense dude, and that's why he's, you know, he's where he's at, right?
That's an old scene, that one, yeah.
That one? What year would that have been from?
That's the first Tough Enough, I think, back in like, 2000-ish.
Oh, wow, really?
He still had his long hair and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now he's got the same look as me, shaved head with a big beard.
Oh, really? Triple H?
Yeah, he looks awesome, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he looks like a big biker.
So he's still wrestling?
Part-time. Like, he actually runs the show now, pretty much, him and Stephanie, his wife.
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon's Vince's daughter, right? And, you know, they have the majority of the behind-the-scene stuff.
Frig, that's crazy. So, yeah, they're going to make a movie out of They're going to make a movie about Vince McMahon, aren't they?
Geez, I don't know.
Oh, who did they cast for it? I can't remember who they friggin' cast. I just read this somewhere the other day. They're gonna make a movie about the up and coming WWF to present day or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be pretty neat. I like that shit. I like all that the really old wrestling too,
Documentaries
man.
and,
Like before Vince McMahon was a friggin' big animal.
Yeah.
He's a rather large boy now.
Well, he was always big. He's always wearing suits, and he hid it.
Yeah,
right?
true.
Because he's not tall. He's probably about your height.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I would have
Excuse me.
guessed he's a lot bigger than that.
maybe 6'1".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were your wrestlers growing up?
Hulk Hogan.
Duh.
Hulk Hogan would be one. Later, once I kind of sat back and watched it a little bit, like before it was Hulk Hogan all or none. Then of course the Ultimate Warrior came around. Excuse me, who everybody loved the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah.
And then Legion of Doom.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, and even though they were a bad guy at the time, I loved the Warlord and stuff like that. Just the big jack guys were the guys who I always went to and liked. But you know, I think still to this day, overall, it would be the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. When they were they it from WCW originally?
NWA, WCW.
Yeah, because the Demolition crew was the
WWF.
first WWF.
Yeah, and they were kind of like the WWF's way to answer to the NWA's Road Warriors,
Ah, okay.
right? So
Yeah.
and, yeah, Demolition. I really like them too, and they were better as a
Axe
bad
and Smash.
team, right? So
Yeah, they're freaking awesome.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about
Yeah,
right
'cause
now.
they
I'm just like,
they probably would have been.
they
like,
probably
yeah.
had one of the best, still all-time best entrance theme too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shit, I can't remember that one. We'll have to look it up.
should.
I just remember playing with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior in one of those like plastic rings at my grandparents' place when I was a kid. I
those.
don't remember watching them on TV at all.
Yeah, I'm
When I
gonna.
started watching wrestling, it was like The Rock and Stone Cold and
But that was a good.
Goldberg.
That was a good era, right? That was the big. That was what's called like Hogan's era and stuff like that was the golden era,
Yeah.
right? And then what you're watching was the Attitude Era, and it was more Smash Mouth where they stand and punch each other in the face and go all out. And that's the style I like. Like if you watch my style, when I get really into it, mine's more like Bradshaw,
Yeah.
big clotheslines and kicks and
Yeah. Well, I seen you
slams
just
and-
you drove a guy into the turnbuckle and then you just started slamming his gut and then you
Yeah.
were smacking his chest and
yeah.
that was Titus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm not big on moves, but I'm like I'll punch you and then you'll move to the other side of the
Yeah.
ring and I'll
You're
punch
just a
you and you
bulldog,
keep,
just
yeah,
keep coming at you.
yeah, right. And then I'll throw in a power slam of some sort, like like I leave for one thing I just can't, but I leave like all the flashy stuff to the smaller wrestlers. So
Yeah.
I got this. I got to listen to it for a sec. Just a clip of it. I can't remember.
What is it?
Their theme song for the Demolition crew.
Oh, you gotta.
Yeah.
They're actually coming out. Oh no, you have to just type in Rick Derringer Demolition.
Rick Derringer.
Yeah.
I seen him play live.
Yeah.
Did you?
Actually, I moved his drummer's drum kit for him
Yep.
on stage. We worked backstage that
You
night.
mean I've been working out with the guy that moved Rick Derringer's drum set?
And the drummer for
Yeah.
Monster Truck 2, also Cool Steve.
Yeah, cool
Shout out
Steve.
to
Cool
Monster
Steve.
Truck.
Yeah.
It was badass, man. I was moving. I was like, I knew who he was. We're moving this drum riser out, and like Steve was like helping too, and he was pushing it out, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the drummer. That's the drummer. I was like, look cool, and I'm like, oh hey man, and he's like, oh hey, and he stuck out his hand.
Yeah.
I'm Steve. I'm like, I know, I'm Gary. He's super badass. Rick Derringer. Yeah, I totally forgot about these. These guys are friggin' nuts.
Rick Derringer's the same one that did Hogan's theme.
Yep. Do you remember the music, the tape that they put out?
Pile Driver.
Is that the
I
name
had
of
it, yeah.
Oh, I had it too.
I had the VHS of it too with all the music videos.
Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
singing, what was the song? Who did Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo?
Jimmy Hart.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's the one that sticks out in my head big time.
Yeah.
Demolition.
You can do it, buddy.
I got it.
Technology, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't worry, this guy moves ice cream for a living. He'll figure it out.
Is that song?
That's it. Yeah. Right? And back in the 80s, when you heard that, you knew shit was going to go down, right?
Yeah.
Two great big monsters coming to the ring with hockey masks on and spikes all over the place.
I can't believe
That's
Rick
Rick Derringer?
Yeah.
That's
Gives me
crazy.
goosebumps.
Sounds like Anvil.
Yeah. Every time somebody says Rick Derringer, I'm just like, laying pipe. That's the only song that comes to
He's
mind.
the original one that sang Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, too, is he not? Rick Derringer? I think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not
know.
sure.
Not
Rock and
100%
Roll
on
Hoochie
that
Coo.
one.
They seem. Why does it seem that all the like every time they play like the metal to the guys coming out, that seems to be the best walkout music ever.
It's just amp up music.
If it's like a big monster or a badass, like a bruiser kind of thing, it works.
Yep.
Like you couldn't see Rey Mysterio coming down to the ring
to Metallica.
to Metallica. Actually, the only person that I know of that came down to Metallica is Sting. He came down to Seek and Destroy for a little while.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even Triple H came out too, but when he
For
was
whom the bell tolls.
he came out when
He comes out to Motorhead.
when he came out at first. Though when he was in the tag team, what was the tag team?
Not DX.
No, they're dressed up, but they had the frilly shirts.
Oh,
And
that
stuff.
was in WCW when he was Terrorizing. That's what his name was, Terrorizing. Yeah.
They came out to like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, like the
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
classical
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, that's because they were the Blue Bloods or whatever they were called.
That always pissed me off.
I thought Kane came out to For Whom the Bell Tolls.
No, he came out to Finger 11 for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, wrong one. Yeah, this is why I need somebody just to be sit here on the computer and look shit up.
What are you looking up now?
Just want to see if Rick Derringer was
The original songwriter.
the original singer.
You
I'm
can
all
do it.
stupid, man. Yeah, he is.
Yeah?
What the hell? Anyways, yeah, I seen him live, and I was just like, he better play the freaking Hulk Hogan song, or I'm walking.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did. Actually,
Real American, yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot about that. As soon as we were done, I was like, "Yep, beer time."
Beer time. Yeah, that's crazy.
When did you guys see him?
Blues Fest.
That was the last. Was that the last year Blues Fest was
Blues
there?
Fest was in Toronto.
Was here?
Yeah.
Rick Derringer was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Rick Derringer, Monster Truck. It was a big bill that day. Head of the herd.
Did it draw?
Yeah.
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 Because I know they were the draw. Like the few years that I went, the draw was really down, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's no longer.
Yeah.
And they moved it. Didn't they move it to the city or something?
Yeah,
There
and
you
it
go.
failed, and now I don't even think it's a thing anymore.
Oh, it should be, though.
I think. Oh, I know, but
Right.
I think there was a certain person that was involved in that.
It was.
Okay.
And I usually wouldn't say anything, but it ruined my fucking time because that was my place. I can't go to. I don't. Well, it's not that I can't go, but I don't prefer to go to concerts because I don't like a whole lot of people around.
Yep.
But when I went there and watched people, man, it was like I was at home. So I was really
Well-
torn up when it friggin' left.
Everybody was there for a good time too, right? Like
Yeah.
it was cool because people would park their campers there and
Oh,
spend a week
barbecue
there,
pit.
like or however
you had
long
like
it was,
a barbecue rib competition, burger
Yeah.
competition.
right? And that was one of the last things left that, besides going to a campground. But like
Yeah.
when I grew up, like you went to the Stewiacke River Park and like everybody was there camping with their campers and their trailers and stuff like that. And like I grew up that way, like
Yeah.
all summer long. I'd be at Stewiacke River Park every day. We'd go swimming and and nobody does that stuff no more. Like
No.
you go to that park, it's still there and it still looks awesome, but you're not allowed to camp there anymore.
Oh, you're not allowed.
No.
Yeah, I was wondering when I went there. I stopped in there a few times over the last couple of years, and there's never anybody there.
Yeah, so like it's just I don't know, like just nobody does that stuff anymore. Like the same as I can't
Technology, man.
Yeah,
no
like, I
one
don't
wants
know-
to leave the comforts of
Exactly,
technology
right? Like-
anymore.
Like I remember like when I was in school, every Friday night could hardly wait to go to the movie store to rent a game or rent a
Oh, I
like if
know.
you had your girlfriend at the time, that was like date night, like just to go to the movies and
Yeah.
you go home and watch a movie with her or whatever,
Then
right?
you'd
Like
rack up $14 in late fees.
yeah, right.
'Cause
Half
you-
of, you
I-
would too.
I hate the fact that we can't be as amused as we were,
Yeah,
like growing up. Like
everything's just that.
it's too easy.
If you want
now.
it, you just Google and
Yeah.
you get it.
Like,
Yeah.
and nobody hangs like when nobody hangs out on the corner of a street in your neighborhood anymore. Like nothing like, You know, if you want to talk, like most people are just texting back and forth, and
Yeah.
you know,
You can't bullshit anybody because everybody has Google.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
want to
right?
find out where your friends are, bike around,
Yeah.
you see all their bikes.
Like we even like you know you get together and play a game of football and stuff, just impromptu. Like we'd all meet at the same place and somebody would bring a football. Oh, let's play football.
We used to have a road hockey league when I lived in
Yeah.
Trail Heights.
Oh, yeah, we
Like,
did too.
Yeah.
His schedule's drawn up.
I don't know. We're not kidding. Maybe kids are still doing this, but I doubt it. I don't
I've-
see it.
You know,
People
the
complain too much too, though, right? Like
Yeah.
kids are out playing street hockey. Oh, the hoodlums out there and they're getting in the way. I can't drive by. Give them a chance to move the hockey net out of the way. How the hell else are they supposed to get any type of street smarts awareness of whatsoever? Next thing you know, well, I mean, like look at when Pokemon Go came out. They say people were falling off cliffs. So like, if you don't let the kids at least play road hockey, are they going to know to move out of the way when an oncoming car comes? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. You know, it's pretty sad when you see groups of people out there looking at their phone, walking around, playing that game, and that's the only friggin' time they've been outside.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
right.
mean?
Right?
If that game were to disappear, you wouldn't see that person again walking around.
No.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. I wonder how much exercise that gave people.
Well,
for-
wasn't there
for a
one
little
kid
bit.
that lost like 100 pounds when that game came out?
I did hear something about a weight loss thing
Yeah.
for a couple people. You hear people finding dead bodies because it was this was
Yeah.
taking them to different spots and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had people come right into my backyard because there was a pokey gym. What's a pokey gym? What's a pokey gym?
Yeah,
Right?
you get like
You know?
you get like build up your guy's skills or something. I don't know anything
so-
about it.
Yeah.
I didn't care. Like, I mean, it was just part of the wildlife to me. But you know,
But that was just a good way to like. They spend a lot of fuel and stuff like that for those Google cars to drive around with the camera on top of it. Why not get everybody to do it more intricately? Intricately, nailed it. But yeah, when you're walking this, we're gonna see it in a couple of years, like in video games, like people's footage that they took and helped map out. They're gonna be like in a real GTA. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like you
Yeah.
know what I mean. And
Yeah.
you're gonna have like I'll be able to jump on in my Ferrari, leave my house, see how fast I can drive to work through traffic in this game. That's what I always wanted for a game. Anyway, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's weird that game took people all over the place. And wasn't there like sponsorships too, that people were getting sponsors to fly them to certain parts of the world so they
Oh,
could
yeah.
collect certain
Because,
Pokemon?
there was
well,
one
good
guy
on them
that...
if they can actually get it to work. But
Yeah. No, there was a guy that was getting funded to travel the world because he almost had the full Pokemon collection. But in order to get these super rare Pokemons, they
had
were
to
in
go.
like Africa or, South America, and somebody, I don't know who it was, but was funding this guy to go
Yeah.
collect, like, have the game complete.
man gets mauled by white rhino looking for
Yeah.
Pokemon. Like,
Yeah.
that would be a great headline.
Just looking at his phone, unaware there's a lion stalking him.
Yeah.
You're not Pokemon, you're a chimpanzee. Rip, give me my arm back. Yeah. No, I don't. I wonder. The games like that kind of stopped though after that Pokemon game. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't have any more games after that.
Man, I'm still hooked on. I still play Angry Birds. Like,
Really?
I'm really far behind. Yeah.
I've never got into that.
Yeah, I don't have any games on my phone. At
I have
all.
that baseball game I'm addicted to it. And all you do is try and hit a baseball.
Not true. I got badminton.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm badass.
There you go.
I only download games that kind of,
You like shuttlecocks and birdies?
Yeah, that's not what I was getting at, you dickhead.
that was clever.
Yeah, I know. I can't even
I'm
go back
surprised
and finish what I was going to say.
I didn't catch up on that.
No, I just download things that have to do with my life. I used to have like skydiving and stuff like that.
Have you ever skydived?
No, I would never do that.
Me either.
I don't. Yeah, I can't see you being a skydiver.
No.
It almost seems like you'd fall faster and everything.
Oh, thanks. Just gonna drink my protein shake. I'm not talking no more.
Slurp it as loud as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did legs today in the gym. Speaking the total opposite of games. Good day, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Josh usually do about an hour and a half where the beating me up, and then I go home and make my lunch, and he stays and does friggin' more exercising. I don't know how you do it. But you have to have your stamina up and stuff for what you do, right? You have any smokers that wrestle?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how they do it because I have asthma, and in the last match that you guys saw, I was just getting off a bad cold, So I was breathing really, like, my lungs were on fire through that match.
You
Like,
mentioned you had a cold.
normally, like, I move a lot faster than what I did in that match, and I just couldn't because I just couldn't get the wind that I needed. And, you know, normally, like, you know, that's where you mentioned that Titus slip when I was pressing him over my head. Normally that would never happen. Like, I was really weak compared to what I normally would be. And then a lot of other people don't know, like, last year I just came off of, like, injuries and stuff like that. Then I got really ill, so I lost a lot of size and a lot of strength because I just wasn't training. I was just going through the motions at the gym just to stay active.
Yeah, right.
But I went down to 245. You know, normally I hover at 270.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Have you ever been winded to the point where you're just like, I'm going to follow my own head?
No.
No?
No.
You keep going?
No, I've always
pushing?
had good cardio for some reason. Like, even when I don't train cardio, I've always had decent cardio.
Really?
Yeah.
Cardio
For the first couple minutes, like, you're like, oh, this sucks. You get gas really fast, and then all of a sudden you just level
Your
off and you
second
just
wind
go.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. You see a lot of that in like UFC and boxing
Yeah.
and stuff like that
Right?
too.
You just get your bearings under you, and the next thing you know, you're fine, and you just glide along.
Man,
Autopilot.
there's got to been like you had to have a show like almost come to a stop or something because somebody got injured or like something bad. Somebody landed.
You want to
on
know
their-
what? The worst injury I've ever seen was a triple threat match, which means there's 3 people in the match.
Yeah.
And they're all fighting each other, and they were working on this one guy, and they both took an arm wringer, and they twisted his arm, and then they did what you pick the arm up and then pull him down to the mat, and he landed on his knees, and he shot this hip right up through. Yeah, went right through his hip bone and everything else, like the whole leg bone just went like that.
Oh my Lord.
So they had to operate, and they said he'd never wrestle again. He did try to come back and wrestle, but he just was never the same. And he showed me the scar. It looked like the scar looked just like as if you had a diamond plate steel
Oh really?
riveted to it, but it was a scar, like where all the stitches and the staples went and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
But
was
you
a-
can see the little.
yeah, it looked like half a stop sign.
That's neat. Well, not neat. It's terrible. Misfortune.
Yeah, but he's got a good story for the rest of his life to tell.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
But the screams that came out of him, man, it
I would
was just
imagine.
hair raising.
That'd be the worst in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
But that's
Jesus.
another thing. Like you know, you think you're healthy sometimes, and like he wasn't. Like he was very malnourished and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't know how to eat. They just
Yeah, right.
work out, and you know. So I think that contributes to it. And you know, not everybody's just built to take a beating.
Yep.
So nobody's really built to take a beating. But
Yeah, but there's definitely some that do better.
Yeah.
Fare better than others.
yeah,
Rory McDonald's built to take a beating.
Yeah, you got beat up bad,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still won the other night in UFC.
Oh, good.
Was it UFC Bellator, wasn't it?
And UFC. Every fight he gets in, his face is just.
Yeah, frig. So, what's the couple of things that I wanted to ask? The ropes, what are they made out of?
cable.
Like
Cable
steel
with garden
cable?
hose. Yeah, cable with garden hose on it. Like, you know, the cable that people tow airplanes with.
So, how does it look so elasticy?
It's not. It's just the force of you hitting them.
So when you go
Yeah.
into those, that's what
Yeah.
you feel. Are
There's,
those?
there's always a little bit of stretch to everything, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know. So basically, what it is it goes through turnbuckles.
Yeah.
And it's all just one. The rope is when you take it off is all just one circle, and it's got the turnbuckles in each corner hooked to it. So the rope just like so this side of the ring. If you're hitting this side, it'll all pull from this side, and then you get
Oh,
that
okay.
right. So
Oh, I never noticed that before.
yeah.
Frig, yeah,
And
that
so-
would.
But the best ropes are the actual like ropes that are made from big thick tow ropes, like what the WWE has, and I've worked with them too, and they're awesome. I love them.
That's crazy. What, you've been in a WWE ring?
No, but it's like the same setup and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
How long does it take to one of the rings to get set up?
If you get a good ring, it only takes 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Maybe an hour tops.
How many dudes working on it?
5 or 6.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So I heard you talking to what's the gentleman's name at the gym? Andre. And he's a wrestler too?
Yep.
So he was talking about you guys there's available ring for you guys to practice and go over things.
Yep.
Where's like, is that always around for you to use or?
It wasn't actually. One of the young fellows just built like this is what he should be doing for a living is making steel structures because that's what he went to school for. He's a fantastic welder.
What's his name? Do you know?
His name's Dana.
Okay.
And I can't remember his last name. Anyway, he he makes wrestling belts too, like championship belts, and he's very talented at it. It's a little simple, but usually those guys are the more talented ones when it comes to artistic stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're not stupid. They're just their energy goes in different areas, right?
Yep.
So that's what he should be following. He should be pursuing some type of construction of some sort because he's good at it.
Wonder how old he is.
He is in his upper half of the 20s, I think.
So
he's not old.
Time, no, I mean.
Yeah, right.
So he's building the rings too.
No, he built a ring.
Oh, a ring. Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually a really good design. He just so he just recently set that up in Bible Hill, and he told me about it at the Spryfield show. He said anytime you want to go up, and before then I would have to go all the way to Halifax to train if I wanted to. But now that we have one here, I'll probably go up every weekend.
Friggin' right.
So
I imagine a lot of guys will do it.
Well, there's only 2 of us locally here, and 3 of us locally here in Truro. So it'll just be us 3 mainly, unless somebody wants to come from Halifax and play with us for a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose so. So who
Get
are the
you in
3?
there.
Yeah, if I could ever get my neck right.
I can stretch that out for you.
One clothesline and have me just like, yeah, I gotta leave because I shit my pants.
Clothesline goes across your chest, not your neck.
Yeah, but I land on my neck.
Gary just does a 180.
You know what I keep thinking of when I think of clotheslines? I can't remember what WrestleMania it was, but back when Shawn Michaels was in the Rockers, and they went up against.
What you're talking about.
They went up against. I can't remember. I can't remember their names in this because they changed them. But it used to be the Typhoon and Earthquake when they were like one was Akeem.
No, it was Akeem.
Akeem.
That was One Man Gang.
Is that what they were
And
called?
the other one was Big Boss Man.
Nope. Because I remember I was a big fan of Big Boss Man. These guys were the Natural Disasters at one point, and then they switched to something else. What was the other guy's name?
Well, the Natural Disasters were Tugboat and Earthquake.
Yeah, but they switched their names
to the Natural Disasters.
No, but then they
to Typhoon and Earthquake.
Maybe it was before that. Then.
It was way before that, yeah.
So anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it called a short clothesline?
Yep.
Where you go to throw him the rope, but you don't. You hold on.
You pull him.
He friggin' hit Shawn Michaels. One of them hit Shawn Michaels so hard.
Yeah, it was Akeem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Landed right on the back of his head, and he straightened up like a board, like his feet right at, and you could see his head.
It looked fantastic.
Oh my God, man! I was like, hey, there's no friggin' way. Like, how do you carry on? That was like, the match went on for like 15 minutes after that.
Yeah. If you look at another match, I don't know whether it's them or the Hart Foundations, where Akeem hits the ropes. And he's so fucking big that the ropes spread apart this way.
Yeah.
And he went through and landed right on his head on the outside of the apron.
So that wasn't planned.
No, but it looked good, right?
Big man like that.
At the UCW, I think it was the tag team matchup. And I think one of the Cape Breton guys got thrown out of the mat, but you guys don't have the rubber around the outskirt. And it was the loudest smack because I think he fell backwards. Like he didn't
I remember
fall
that.
forward. It was the loudest smack in the world. I was like, that's...
Those are the Newfoundlanders, the Buys, they're called.
Buys, yeah, right.
Yeah, they got a good gimmick going there. They get the crowd behind them and stuff too. And they're actually the more muscular one of the two. He's great, but the other one, his real name is Ed Powers, but he goes by Max Powers.
Okay.
And he
that's a good name.
The charisma, he's so charismatic. Like I've wrestled against him a couple times, and he's got me laughing just in his entrance because of the movements he makes and stuff like that. Right?
And you're trying.
I'm supposed to be this big tough guy, like At the time, I had face paint on, like Road Warrior Hawk and stuff like that over in PEI, and they called me the Road Warrior Riddick Stone for a little while because everybody kept saying you're built just like Hawk. So I was like, all right. So I have 2 sets of spike shoulder pads and everything that I built. And anyway, he'd have me laughing like he's got so much charisma and stuff like that. So
that's pretty cool. Yeah, they had the muscular guy. He's the dude. Does he have red hair, or it's like kind of he has a.
No, Max Power has the red hair and the red beard and the shorter hair.
That guy looks like Canelo. Boxer.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow, I was like, Jesus Christ, and he's stocky, too.
The Irish Mexican.
The Irish, yeah. He's Mexican, the white, red-haired Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you guys work pretty hard for that.
Yeah.
And you work good together. Like you guys is the last tag team match that you had, and the guy got something dug into his knee. That part.
I don't know.
It was from the Buys, one of those
Okay.
guys, and one of them went back into the room.
Yeah.
Then the other two guys beat up
Yeah.
his roommate, and then he came his
Roommate.
tag team.
Yeah.
And then the other guy came back out again, and I was like waiting for him to come out because you know these things. If you watch a lot of wrestling, you're like, it's like, okay, he's waiting. There's no reason for him to go back there too early. He's injured, but that's not how it goes. And then you forget about it. Next thing you know, he comes charging back out again. If I was a wrestler, I'd want to be like a Jake the Snake type. That was my guy growing up.
Yeah, I met him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man, what stage did you meet him? Like,
After his recovery.
After recovery?
Yeah.
He's doing good now. I follow him on social media.
Yeah.
He's actually doing stand-up comedian shows.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and another guy.
He's very vulgar though, right? Like there's no filter on him.
Oh,
not in
God.
his shows.
No, I don't
But,
imagine.
yeah, he. When I met him, he was bringing his daughter around with him too, and I think she was kind of like his rock at the time or whatever.
Yeah,
he was
right.
like rekindling a connection with her and trying. I think that was trying to keep him safe. But I did hear that he does fall off the wayside. Right, but
Yeah, but he was hard into it too.
Yeah.
He would only show up to shows when they were like friggin', make sure he has his drugs there and whatnot.
yeah, I heard that.
Behind the cage, is that the name of the documentary?
Beyond the Mat.
Beyond the Mat. That's it. It's good. Did you see that?
I think I haven't watched it. I've
But
seen
then
it on
there's,
Netflix or something though.
The resurrection of Jake the Snake. That's a good one.
I think I've seen that too. That's where he hooks
With
up
Diamond
with
Dallas Page.
Yes, Diamond Dallas Page does that yoga too.
Yeah,
DDP
PDP
yoga.
Yeah.
I know. I often wanted to get my father into that because it's super good for you.
Yeah.
It takes people far away. But yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts was always my friggin' guy, and it wasn't like he wasn't perfect shape or nothing like that,
Nope.
but he was just so friggin' smart and such a good character.
Yeah.
And he had a snake too. That made it different.
Yeah. Now he's not allowed to carry a snake around anymore for animal protection laws and stuff, right?
Yeah, because he fucking froze one in a trunk one time when he was on tour. He
What?
Oh, I never heard that.
Left it. Yeah, this is when he's all screwed up, and he was in his room and he was doing whatever he was doing, and at a hotel, and he left his snake out in the car in the trunk in the bag, and the thing froze to death overnight.
Crazy.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Remember when that snake bit Macho Man Randy Savage?
That was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't even scripted. That.
Well,
how
no,
can-
the
how
bite was
can you-
scripted,
What?
but the length of time that it was on there, like Jake couldn't get the snake to let go. That's why you see him sitting there wiggling and trying to get him to let go, and the length
So
of time
the
that he was hooked on.
snake was
It was a
trained
cobra.
to bite?
Well, you don't train a snake to bite; it just bites. That's
Oh,
its natural
yeah.
reaction.
Yeah, I
But
guess so. I was like, what?
it was devenomized and stuff. Like,
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so they played that up for a long time. That was when Jake the Snake was actually in really good shape, and he was like, his voice was starting to get even more raspy and stuff. So he seemed like a real
Badass.
villain. Yeah, like
Yeah, he got really dark.
yeah,
And then when he kind of screwed up there and kind of slipped off in the drugs, he was really dark.
yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy.
his catch line was "Trust me," right?
Oh yeah,
You
right.
go, trust me, right? And yeah, that's it's a simple line, but man, that's very villain, right? Like
Yeah. Is there anybody that wrestles now that has kind of that same mentality, like professionally? I wonder.
no, I don't. What do you mean?
Like, well, for example, like the shows. Remember in WWF when they put on like the Barber's Corner,
Yep.
and stuff like that. That was a big thing to me growing up. I loved all that stuff,
Yeah.
and they had that. But I find that now when I watch it, it's not so much something like that.
Yeah.
Because they just want more action, I guess, now and stuff like that
Yeah,
makes
no,
more sense.
I don't see anything like that too much. I'm sure it's out there, but
The dude that picked up that big truck, flipped the big truck.
Braun Strowman.
I don't even know this guy. I just seen. I was like, seen a thing on YouTube showing him pickups happen. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's this? And I put it on. I was like, oh my Jesus Christ.
he's a legit one of the world's strongest men at one time.
Oh,
Or
really?
well, he competed in strongman competitions. He never ever won world's strongest man or anything like that. But he's a big, powerful guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that. Who's I'm trying to think of those other shows that Yeah, Buddy Love. He had
Brother Love.
Brother Love.
Yeah.
Do you know Puff Daddy changed his name to Love?
Oh, did he?
And as soon as he did it, everybody started sending him pictures of Brother Love.
Oh, that's awesome.
What?
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't want to be Diddy. He doesn't want to be Puff Daddy.
Well, how many times you get to change your name?
A lot, apparently.
Shit,
Yeah.
As long as you pay the whatever $400 fee, whatever it is.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, I don't think it's much.
So changing my name to Zach.
Zac Efron.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but that was funny when I heard that, because as soon as I heard it, I was like, no, there's a friggin' manager named that. He was a manager.
Brother
wasn't he?
Love, yeah.
For who?
Huh?
For who?
He actually originally brought in The Undertaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then Paul Bearer came in afterwards.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Heard you guys talking about $1 Million Man, too, at the gym today.
Yeah, yeah.
So is he, what's he doing these days? You said that he make appearance or something like that?
He does
sometime?
make appearances, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't wrestle or anything like that, but he'll manage or just get a little wow factor, right? Like, oh, I can't believe you guys brought him in. But I like bringing in guys that can still work,
Yeah, right.
right? So, I mean, it would be cool to see Ted DiBiase, but I like I say, I like to bring in guys that can work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hulk Hogan still going at it?
No.
He's done now.
I don't-
But that was
Yeah,
only
he doesn't wrestle. I'm sure he gets in a ring and goofs around and stuff like that, but I don't know.
I heard he was broke.
To be
No, not
no,
now.
he just won that Gawker case last year or the year before for well, I don't know. It
He
was
was
a large
get-
amount.
Yeah, he was getting sued like crazy, but then he got he went after a couple different people and won a huge settlement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like more than 15 million or something like that.
Phew.
Yeah, I thought it was around 20 million or 30 million or something silly like that. But he'd still have more than that anyway. The Hulk Hogan paraphernalia and merchandise friggin' flying
Hulk's
around.
big shop. He's got a beach shop there in California.
Well, that's
or
why I
Florida.
thought I thought he divorced
Linda.
Linda, and then she kind of took everything. Like, she has the rights to the Hulkamania, and she has the rights to that. That's what I thought happened.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
I don't know.
have
I
no
don't
idea.
like even like new like. I don't really follow wrestling a whole lot. I know some of the stuff that's going on just from YouTube and stuff like that, but I don't actually sit and watch wrestling or research it or anything like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it on? Like, is it? Because I remember as a kid, like the WWF or WWE would come to Halifax.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 2-3 times a year. Never hear about it coming to Halifax anymore.
Usually when they do a Monday, Tuesday show. They'll do Raw on Monday and SmackDown on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And on TV, like, it was always on. You'd be not flipping through the channels because there wasn't digital cable then, but, the TV guy would be scrolling or whatever, and it would be like, WWF or TNT or
Yeah.
whatever, and I'd never see it on TV at all now.
I don't know. I actually don't have TV.
You don't bother,
Smart.
eh?
No,
I don't.
I have internet, but that's it.
We got TV here. I don't watch
No.
TV at all.
Yeah.
I'll go on like a YouTube if I want to see something. Or...
That's what I do. I
I
YouTube.
basically watch sports.
That Braun
That's
Strowman,
it.
I know what he's doing because he's this big, powerful guy, and he was like improved leaps and bounds over the last few years. So I watch him a little bit. And there's another guy named Jinder Mahal. He's they use him to cater to the Indian demographic over like Eastern India.
Oh, right.
But he's legit. He's a Canadian Indian.
Yeah.
But and he's in phenomenal shape and stuff like that. And he wrestles a little more old school style. So I like his character. He's got a great entrance too. Other than that, I don't really follow too many people. Like
Really?
if Batista came back, I'd follow him. I follow Brock Lesnar.
What's Batista doing?
He's
Movies.
acting.
Oh, that's right too.
He's Drax.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
monster.
in
of a
the
freaking
kickboxer
dude.
movies. And
Oh, he looked like a beast in the kickboxing
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, it was a bad movie, but he did a
Yeah.
good job.
Is is he in the new Kickboxer
Yeah.
movie coming
Yeah.
out?
I
Oh
think
my
so.
god, I want to see that movie.
in the new movie.
Yeah,
Is
there's
the new
yeah,
one
there's
coming
a
out?
new one coming out.
Van Damme's in it.
Well, he was in the one that they just released too. He was
Yeah.
the trainer.
Yeah, but there's like 5 people that are in it. That I was like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? I can't remember who the hell was in it.
Well, Van Damme fights. We watched a thing on YouTube. He fights some other like 80s, 90s
Okay.
action legend guy.
You can blame the Expendables for all these guys making a comeback.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank God, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the world needs the Expendables, man. That was the best thing when you see.
Expendables 3 was my favorite one.
Oh,
I
really?
don't
Yeah, I thought
remember
it was fun.
Expendables 3.
It was a lot of fun.
Super fun. Oh, is that the one with Antonio Banderas? He's like the goofy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ronda
come
Rousey's the
on, guys.
bouncer in the red
Yeah.
dress and stuff, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Ronda actually looked really good.
Yeah.
Man. Ronda's a pretty girl. Anyway.
Chuck Norris.
She just joined WWF or WWE.
Yeah. Oh, I
Really?
didn't see that. She's wearing Roddy
Roddy
Piper's
Piper's gear.
Yeah, Roddy was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He did the Piper's Pit.
Yeah.
So
When
she
he
just
passed
completely
away,
gave up on UFC.
I remember I was up at the gym in Bible Hill, and I read that he passed away. And I have no idea why, it just hit me. I think it was just because I loved his character and stuff like that. And I took it really hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, oh man, that really sucks. Like I didn't like get all depressed or anything like that, but I was like, man, that really sucks. You know, like he was the one guy that I wanted to meet that I didn't get a chance to meet yet, and he's gone.
Freaking rock stars though, man.
Yeah.
Like he's just unbelievable. He was a movie like a good actor too. Like
Do you ever see his movie They Live?
I watched a movie of him. I think he was chasing. He played somebody's uncle or something like that, and he was chasing down a bad guy.
I don't know.
It was a long time ago though.
They Live is the movie. Did you ever see the meme where it shows him with the sunglasses on, the baseball bat, and he goes, I'm here to do two things: kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That's where that line came from.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic movie, very clever. It's about basically like that sign there, the Led Zeppelin sign there. Like if it said something else out in the street, these glasses, he put them on, and you can see what it really says. It says obey or watch TV or whatever, right? And basically it's about aliens trying to control us to do their bidding kind of thing. And it's a very, very intelligent for the time movie.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not untrue to the point where that's what the government does with signs.
Yeah, right.
You know, right? They try to control everything. Everything's a form of control.
Oh yeah,
So-
definitely. Even
but yeah.
colors, all that.
Well, apparently, like they researched stuff like that so much that McDonald's has figured out that red and yellow supposedly entices our appetite.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Right?
That's
So-
crazy.
I wondered why I always got hungry when I watched Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Always sitting down, mashing
Yeah.
a double Mac into your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hit a lot of McDonald's up?
After a show, my go-to meal is usually 6 double bacon cheeseburgers and a 10-pack of nuggets and a large chocolate shake.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta
I'll-
get those
I'll eat that on the
calories
way
in you.
home. Yeah.
How many calories do you eat in, like, you're obviously training hard.
Mm.
How many calories a day do you average eat?
If I'm actually following a correct diet and stuff, I'll eat about 55,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
No, 5,500, 5,500.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
500.
55,000, that's, well,
A lot.
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't reach
insane.
my
You'll see me
food.
on the new episode of My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a guy, I seen the video on Facebook, I think. Anyway, he was training. Why he would want to do this, I don't know. He was training to swim 40 miles across the English Canal or English Channel
Yeah.
with a 100-pound log strapped to him.
Screw that.
He tried it twice. He didn't make it to the destination both times just because the ocean current's so unpredictable and it was carrying him away or pushing him back towards where he started.
Right.
But in those 2 attempts, he swam 100 kilometers with a 100-pound log strapped to him, and he was training up to this, he was eating 15,000 calories a day.
Yeah, I believe that.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
Yeah, you got to try and make yourself as strong as possible for
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Well, we had that dude that was part of the research team that went up north to the Arctic Circle. He went up and they weren't doing, he was just swimming in cold water for short amount of time, like, the length of like that block right there.
oh, is that the Turkish guy or Ukrainian guy? Or
No,
whatever?
I thought he was from North America somewhere, but he wasn't training hard. He was just making sure he could, like, his endurance was up and everything, and he was taking in like 5,000 calories a day, or every meal or something like that.
Holy, that's impossible.
It was crazy. No, he was eating a lot of stuff though because
Yeah.
he was when he's in the cold, when you're in cold water, your body's working so hard to
keep it warm,
keep everything up that it
metabolism's up,
burns calories like crazy. It was ridiculous amount of calories. Maybe it was something like 1,400 a meal or 1,500 a meal or something like that.
Yeah,
probably.
I can see that because there's been meals where I'd sit down and I'd add it all up and it'd be 1,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you can go to
right.
McDonald's and eat 2,000 in a meal.
Oh, more than that. Oh,
Yeah, and it's
I wonder
not
what that
healthy at
works
all.
out to
Yeah,
be.
I
I don't
guess,
know.
eh?
Your specialty. I wonder what that works out to be.
I don't know.
8,000.
Sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I can't. Like, I can sit there and eat them all in one sitting, and there's sometimes I have it left over for breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I'll be good for until the next time.
I'm bad with McDoubles, or not McDoubles.
Big Macs.
No, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Double Downs. I'm bad when those come out. Oh my god,
I don't like
Yeah.
KFC.
they're like
I hope they're not your sponsor because they suck.
no, no, they're like 600 calories a burger.
Yeah.
But there's just like 2 pieces of chicken and then bacon in the middle,
Oh, yeah.
and
I
there's
know
no
what you mean.
bread. That is
Did you look at
bread.
the salt content on one of those?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The
You know,
sodium.
when it comes to salt and stuff like that, people think they're doing a good thing when they go to Subway. And Subways, they have
No,
zero
oh
Subway's
yeah,
salty, yeah.
no,
Yeah, it's garbage. It's
Yeah.
just as bad as McDonald's and getting a Big Mac.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I know. It does not agree with my stomach. Subway.
no.
It's like if I'm in a pinch and I have to get something,
Yep.
I'll be like, fuck, all right. Well, at least they have like a lot of vegetables and stuff. I
Yeah.
can plow onto it, but
Yeah.
it'll fill me up a little bit too. For the most part, I just I like to cook my own meals and
If you're gonna get stuff like that, it's a little more expensive. But I go to Pita Pit.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
tried the one in Truro yet,
Yeah,
but
they're
when
good.
I was
a
going
lot
to
of
really
people
good.
tell me
I
they're
was
good.
going to school in Dieppe for I don't know, a couple years ago for a couple months, and that's like every day for lunch.
Yeah.
It was like Pita Pit, just because the only other options were like Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. I was like, yeah, Pita Pit.
Yeah. I remember, this is so weird. I remember speaking of Subway, I remember the first time I've ever had a Subway sub, and it was the most...
I was in love.
Yeah, soon as
Like-
I had it, a buddy of mine, Tyler, we're at a volleyball tournament. I don't know if it was a provincial or anything, but we went to this tournament, and my buddy pulls out the Subway sub. I was like, "Oh, you got that Subway, huh?" Because like Subway had just come to Truro,
Yeah.
and he couldn't eat the rest of his sub. He's like, "Do you want to try a bite of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I tried it, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? It's so awesome!"
Yeah.
So like we got done the tournament and went right up to Subway after that, man. And I tell you, it was the glorious freaking thing to eat my own sub. But it was like that was when the bread was basically the equivalent to plastic.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had to take the bread and discontinue it and
Oh, is
make
that right?
new stuff because it was like
Oh, I wonder why they don't discontinue margarine then. Margarine's
Well-
a plastic spread.
Yeah.
yeah, I know, but there's like there's probably like a regulation you can get up to before it's like too bad.
I guess maybe.
Or maybe it breaks down differently or something
I
like
don't know.
that.
I was thinking about eating this label here. It looks like it's good plastic. It
Oh,
looks
yeah.
tasty, right?
Nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Suppose you be getting
Where's your Tide Pods, by the way?
Are you hungry? Are you?
Yeah.
I ate them all.
Ah.
My colon is so clean, though.
But I tell you what, I made that joke, but I'm so sick of seeing that on Facebook and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I
Absolutely.
don't understand why people are dumb enough to still do. Like, what do you think it's going to taste like?
Horrible. I think that the actual challenge was to see how long you'd hold it in your mouth, wasn't it? I don't think you have to swallow it.
I don't know.
Well,
There's-
still, I
that
wouldn't
thing's
do it.
designed to break down after a couple seconds. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
As soon as they start getting wet,
Yeah.
it's like, a capsule, like a.
You've never honestly picked up one of those Tide Pods and been like,
You look so tasty. No, never.
If you were a candy, that would be so. Like, I obviously know it's not soap,
Yeah.
but if you were a candy,
If
that
it
would be
was-
the best
I
idea.
did
If
see
it was
somewhere-
full of the juicy,
I just picture biting
Gushers.
into it.
gusher stuff,
Yeah.
then yeah, it would be good.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it's full of chemicals and detergent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
Yeah.
No.
But, I don't know.
I was gonna ask you. You probably have to get some food into you here pretty soon, eh?
Why? What are you cooking?
I could, I guess. Yeah, I'm have to get ready for work here pretty soon. Already been an hour.
Has it?
Yeah.
Man.
Been an hour and 5 minutes.
There's so much more we could talk about. Like,
I know, that's what I was going to
Space.
say. Like, maybe we shut this down, but your friend Andre,
yeah.
you mentioned the other day, like, that would be the guy to have on the podcast.
He would be a
if
great
you
guy to
want
have on the podcast.
And I was going to ask him today, but I didn't want to make him be like, oh, yeah, maybe that'd be great. And not thinking there's another time to do it, but I think I might have him on too. Maybe both of you guys.
Yeah.
Because I really
we should do it on a weekend though, because if you want a long conversation, that'll be.
Yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah.
I go from like anywhere from 45 minutes to like Andre and the Giants.
Yeah.
Like we did the like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's not really any time length or whatever, but it would be fun to get into this wrestling thing a lot more.
Yeah. Right. So
Do it on a day where I'm not out lifting Josh. Huge.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you for wearing that Under Armour sweater too. Is hiding your massive physique. I kept my sweater on because I was feeling a little small. So
Yeah. Well, I don't like to make my guests feel out of place or anything.
I was a little
like that.
worried at first because I've heard rumors about how you like to slowly go shirtless through your talks, and I was like,
It happens.
can you wonder why I'm worried about you a little bit?
Starts with the socks. As soon as you start
Oh,
see
that's
me
weird.
take the socks off, you know the
He
shirt's
feels
coming
the
off
toe
next.
freedom, and then he's like,
Yeah.
let's see what else is free. Shirt comes off, hat comes off.
This guy's gonna be in the next podcast too, right?
Oh, he's always
Yeah,
in them.
good.
He's always in them. If he's out of town, that's the only thing. Like he works like away for like a week or 2 weeks at a time and stuff like that. So I like to have him here because it keeps conversations going a lot of the time. And we just get along good anyway. I mean, it's great.
Yeah. What do you do?
Pipe fitter, basically.
Oh, right on. Good. He's a pipe smith.
Yeah,
I'm
knew you
a
were gonna
pipe
say
smith.
that. I was just going to tell you, don't turn that into a sexual innuendo thing.
Okay,
I'm
cream
a
handler.
sprinklerologist.
A sprinklerologist.
Yeah.
That's all right. I handle wood. Right, so.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you win.
I guess.
All right, let's call her a podcast. Really sorry for being so late to get this out. I had a birthday to go to on the weekend, and I turned into a hungover bitch.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, and then it took a couple days.
And now you're just a bitch.
And now I'm just a bitch.
Sure.
Yeah, my computer was also giving me a little bit of grief. But I think I got it all figured out, and I guess I'll find out when I get to editing.
Yeah.
Slap some stuff on there. Is there, you want to give anybody a shout out? Maybe the boys that wrestle?
I shouted at a lot of them throughout our entire conversation.
Yeah,
so.
screw those guys.
Yeah, screw those guys.
Yeah.
You're nothing to me. But
Do
thank you for everything.
Are you going to get another shot at Titus's face?
You want to know what? I probably work Titus the most out of everybody.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. So usually I'm the bad guy, and those are the better matches. I have a much better time being the bad guy, but I don't know. So I try to stay away. There's what they call a 7-step match. I know you're trying to close up here.
Oh,
They call what's called a 7-step match, and it's like the opener is where the good guy shines on somebody, and then the good bad guy shuts him down, or the good guy makes a mistake and the bad guy gets on him.
Yeah.
And there's hope spots, and I try to stay away from that formula. So I'm like, let's just go as if it was, a real brawl, and we'll just go back and forth, back and forth. And me and Andre actually had one of the best versions of those matches that I've ever had, as me being a good guy. But he's so popular here because he's so involved in the community, and that's another reason why I think you should have him on your podcast, is because he's so involved in everything. He's got so much to say. So you'll probably need to have him for a couple of podcasts too.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to switch him to a good guy eventually. Very soon.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Every time I heard that guy talk, I just assumed that he'd always be a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
He plays he'd play a badass character though, eh?
He
Like
plays
a bad guy.
he actually, do you remember the Genius from WWF?
Oh, I think.
He'd come out with the school gown and stuff like that, and he'd read off a scroll, and he'd always open the shows with a poem.
Yeah.
He plays that type of character, and he actually got the Genius blessing to do that character.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, Lanny Poffo.
That's crazy. Like he's an actor too, Hubtown. Yeah. I seen that guy do a couple plays before. He doesn't miss a beat.
No. Intelligent too, very intelligent. So
Good. Well, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for talking. We'll do a follow-up podcast here in a couple weeks. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
yeah, I think you should. You heard us talking about the training ring. I think you should come out and experience that a little bit too.
Why
and
don't
then
we do
could
the
talk about that.
podcast from the ring?
Well, see if we can set something up. I'll get back to you on that.
Do that. We'll all sit in the ring and have a chat.
Yeah.
Have a couple different angles. I'm working on. I got picked up another camera. I'll be acquiring some equipment here in the next couple weeks, some more stuff, and I'm trying to bring up the quality of this podcast.
Yeah.
And actually, in the next couple months, I'll have a table here, a round table.
Okay.
That we'll all be sitting. We'll all have
Yeah.
our own little microphone stands. I was thinking about putting a beer keg in the middle of it.
Of course.
Amen,
Will it be
brother.
full, or is
Full.
it just a prop?
No, it will be. It will have beer in it. It will have beer in it. We usually do have beers on this because I like
Okay.
to be nice and relaxed and stuff. But I wanted to get this podcast in. So
Yeah.
That and you work
yeah,
today.
then I work. Yeah, they frown upon coming to work drunk. Stupid. I pile ice
I don't
cream.
know. I don't know why.
All right, man.
All right.
Oh, didn't hurt you, did I?
Yeah, you just cracked my hand.
There, buddy.
Thanks, man. You get a pound. All right, that was episode 10 of Varied Gary Podcast. I'd like to thank Josh for coming over and doing the podcast with me. I'd like to thank you for listening. We ran out of time. We could have talked about a whole lot more, like Josh said, but we're going to leave it for another podcast, and hopefully that podcast will be done from a wrestling ring. We'll just beat the crap out of each other and do a podcast. I think that'd be fun. Anyway, enjoy your time, everybody, and thanks again for listening.